Hello, good people of YouTube. Today I'm bringing you guys my second impressions for the new Tier VIII Premium Soviet Light Cruiser, the Pyotr Bagration. Again, I'm not really sure if that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to call it the bag from now on, or baggy, whatever you prefer. But anyways, I'm going to do a quick rundown of the ship's stats. If you want a more detailed rundown on the stats of the ship, please go check out my first impressions video. And I'm still using the same captain and module build from that first impressions video if you guys are curious. So, real quick, survivability, this ship has 42,000. Hit points, pretty high for Tier 8. As far as her guns go, she has 9 180mm guns and the 3x3 configuration, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. And for her torpedoes, she gets 5 533mm torpedoes per side with a range of 8 kilometers and a speed of 55 knots. Her A is actually quite good, I've come to find, and we'll get a bit more into that as we go on with the review. Top speed is 36.2 knots with the speed flag, a turning circle radius of 890 meters, and a rudder shift time of 10.5 seconds. And with the concealment, module, and with the captain skill, she has a detection range of 11 kilometers flat with a camouflage. So, the baggie, or the bag, or the P-bag, all the lovely nicknames the ship has come to acquire. When I reviewed her the first time, I said she felt pretty okay, nothing spectacular, but far from anything terrible, and I would say that still holds up. I played her a lot over the past couple of days, and I gotta say, she feels quite comfortable to play if you played Russian cruisers like the Moskva or even the Donskoy. And the Bagration's in a bit of a weird place because she does have 180mm guns, which they're not exactly light cruiser guns, but they're not exactly heavy cruiser guns either. She's kind of in the middle, I guess maybe a medium cruiser or just a cruiser, if you want to call her that. But they do have Soviet shell ballistics, Soviet pin angles, and Soviet timers, which means it's very much like the Stalingrad, where they pin really, really well, but they have a short fuse time, so they don't overpin as much as guns of the same size do. For example, the Stalingrad, if you had velocities like that on most other cruiser shells, up in the 900,000 meters a second range, you would be getting so many overpins. It would be crazy, but because of the short Soviet fuse time, you still get decent pins, and you can even Citadel battleships. Now, the Bagration's guns, not quite big enough to Citadel battleships, but if you aim at the bow or stern of most battleships, depending upon their armor layout, you can get pretty darn good pins with this ship. I'll let you get up to like Tier 10, obviously, and then the armor layouts up there tend to get a little wonky. Unless it's a French ship, in which you can just beat the crap out of it with the AP anyway. The HE on the ship, it's also pretty decent. I've come to find, even with a 13% chance of starting a fire on an 11-second base reload time, it doesn't seem that high. And yeah, this isn't really a HE spammy ship because of the reload time and just not having 9 guns, but I've been finding it still gets the job done quite fine. I mean, you probably won't be getting too many arsonist medals in this ship, but she can set a few fires, as you'll see that in this video too as well. And the torpedoes, again, they are actually kind of good. Now, of course, this is not a torpedo boat by any stretch of the imagination, but having 10 torpedoes, 5 on each side and 1 torpedo launcher, that's pretty nice. It's a nice dense spread, and they have a range of 8 kilometers. So unlike other Soviet cruisers, who normally their range is around 4 kilometers, you actually have pretty decent range on your torpedoes. So they're not just, oh crap, point blank range torpedoes like, let's say, the Chappie. They actually have some distance to them, and you'll see me put them to use in this video as well. Now, her AA guns, again, if you watch my first impressions video, I say she actually has pretty good AA, and I still stand by that. She does have pretty good AA. Is it amazing AA, a no-fly zone? No, but it's definitely on the good side from my experience. And again, this is going to be one of those things that it really does depend upon the carrier you're facing. Does it know how to dodge flak? Does it know how to approach you right? Does it use cover when approaching your ship, or does it just fly right at you? Again, that all is going to affect the AA, but from having played this ship over the past couple of days quite a bit, it does have good AA. It's, again, not fly swatter AA, but good AA. If you put this ship and another decent AA ship together, you should be pretty good from carriers. But again, if you get to Tier 10, then, you know, good luck with that. And she does have DFAA, which that does certainly help her out there. Maneuverability, this thing handles like a goat. By that I mean, the 10-second rudder shift time doesn't sound like a lot, especially coming from, you know, a battleship main's perspective, but boy does it feel like a lot. She's very slow to turn. She has the humongous Soviet Cruiser turning radius, so even though she's not that big of a ship, she still feels like a battleship to turn, and that's, you know, the downside of the Soviet cruisers. But with this ship, with her armor layout, with her health pool, honestly, the ship the ship feels pretty comfortable to play. I think you should be seeing a clip right here. Well, it's in the match that I'm currently showing, where I should have been dead. Like, I accidentally turned in front of a couple of ships. 2 of them were battleships, but ironically, my rudder braking actually saved me here. And because of the health pool and armor layout of the ship, it does save my butt here. I do take a fair bit of damage, but another thing that the ship has going for it is that it has a heal. Ship with 42,000 health, which is, again, it's pretty high for a Tier 8 cruiser, with a heal too. That's pretty darn forgiving. It makes it really comfortable to play. Last thing, its concealment range of 11 kilometers. That's pretty nice. You have a maximum range of 18 kilometers. So yeah, that's a pretty nice concealment, and it does give you the ability to kind of pick and choose what fights you want to take part in and what fights you don't. And as long as you're 11 kilometers away from something, you can safely disengage. And with the accuracy of the guns and the velocity of the guns, you can comfortably sit around 12-13 kilometers and get consistent hits with these guns. Now, first, some people say that these guns aren't all that accurate, and I mean, they're not, especially when looking at other Tier 8 cruisers, but they're by no means, some people making it sound like, you know, you're firing like old German battleship guns. They're not that bad. I mean, it reloads in 10 seconds. It's not beautiful dispersion most of the time, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and from what I've seen, it's perfectly usable. I mean, I don't know if people expect every cruiser to be just railgun accurate, but these guns are fairly accurate in my opinion. Again, speaking of railguns, these guns have a very high velocity. The AP actually has a very, very, very high velocity at 930 meters a second, and the HC has 920 meters a second, so just 10 meters a second slower than the AP. And plus, her turret arcs are her firing arcs are very flat. The shells don't, they don't go into orbit like the American shells do, so that makes shooting very, very comfortable. You don't have to lead a ship by 2 or 3 ship lengths in order to land consistent targets because of that. And that's very, very good, again. And, the ship can't, it can island hug if you're far enough back from an island, but you can't sit there like an American cruiser or a British light cruiser and just lob shells over the island like a catapult. You can't do that, and I do like that about this ship. So overall, my experience from playing it is that, like I said at the start of the video, it's a pretty good cruiser. It's a nice blend of heavy and light cruiser. It's, they advertise the mines very much as a mix of light and heavy cruiser, and this ship, the Bagration, takes it kind of what the Mainz did, but kind of reversed it to where, you have light cruiser guns on what is pretty much a heavy cruiser hull by the armor scheme and the amount of hit points you get. But the light cruiser guns also feel like heavy cruiser guns. And, that's another thing too, I almost forgot to mention. The turret rotation, this definitely gives it that heavy cruiser feeling. The turrets take 30 seconds base to rotate around 180 degrees. And I still find it hilarious that the Kremlin, with her massive turrets, which one of the Kremlin's turrets probably weighs over half of what this ship weighs, and those turrets can turn sub 30 seconds. they can turn. I think you can get them down to about like 28, 27 if you build for it. Mine, because I took the reload module instead of the turret rotation module, is right at 30.4 seconds. So Kremlin's turrets, again, can rotate around in about the same time that the Bagration's turrets can, and I find that to be absolutely hilarious. So, you know, if you are planning on getting the Bagration, just know you're going to have to do a lot of pre-positioning if you want to do a lot of up-close fighting with the Bagration, which it's not the best ship to do it in, but it's certainly not the worst. I've had a couple of close encounters with the Bagration, and I gotta say, it's held up pretty well. I mean, obviously, if you get too close, you're going to need a face full of torpedoes, but if you know what you're doing... Oh, and you can equip hydroacoustic search, too. I just have DFAA equipped because I don't know what's been going on, but Matchbang has been like, you know, I saw that video you made about aircraft carriers in Clan Wars, and so now every Tier 8 game you're going to get, Tier 8 and above, you're getting a carrier game. And that's what it's been like for me for the past week or so. So that is why I have DFAA equipped instead of Hydro. And they did say that, you know, the Oki, the other Tier 8 premium Soviet cruiser that they released, they said that was supposed to be more of a DD hunter, but the Bagration can do it too. You can chunk DDs for like half their health in one salvo if you manage to hit most of your shells on them. So it's, you know, not the worst for the job, but not the best. The Oki is a bit better just because of the fire rate, but the Bagration can do that too. As far as farming, you know, the ship's not the best at it, it's not the worst at it, because again, the DPM just really isn't there. So you probably can't farm to, you know, your maximum potential that you could if the DPM was lower, quite obviously. But I mean, with a 13% chance of starting a fire and a 10-second fire rate on 180mm guns with Soviet ballistics, you know, the potential is there, and I do rack in the damage quite well in this game. This isn't my highest damage game in the Bagration. My highest was like 150,000, but that was just because I caught their, what was it? Their Lexington and an AFK Colorado just parked next to each other. The Lexington wasn't AFK, the Colorado's AFK, and I was like, okay, sweet. Torpedo the Colorado, torpedo the Lexington, finish off the Lexington, finish off the Colorado. Like one of the easiest 100k plus games of my World of Warships career there. But yeah, anyway, the ship's good. I do think it's good. Some people have said it's mediocre, it's not that great. I think it's good. Is it, oh my god, it's amazing, it's Russian bias? No, it's really not. In my opinion, the ship's actually fairly well balanced, except for the fact that it's got 42,000 hit points and a heal. I honestly think you could take away the heal and this ship would be just fine. I really don't know why they gave it a heal. If the mains didn't get a heal, I don't know why this ship got a heal. It's kind of confusing, because I would understand something like the Oki getting a heal because it's only got 30,000 hit points at Tier 8. But the Bagration getting the heal with its excellent armor and amazing amount of hit points getting a heal, that's a little confusing for me. But, I mean, it's pretty good. Is this a must-buy ship? Do I recommend you go out and buy the ship at this very moment? Not really, no, but if you like what you're seeing, a mix of light and heavy with more leaning toward heavy, I'd say it's worth it. If you like that, I'd say you should get it. But to the average player, is this a must-buy ship? No, by no means. It's a good ship, though. If you're thinking about buying it and you're worried about it being a bad ship, it's not that. Does it take a couple of games to get used to? Maybe if you haven't played a lot of like Moskva and Donskoy. If you haven't played those ships, you may not exactly know how to play this ship, because, like I mentioned in the first impressions video, I tried playing this as a stern and throttle juking ship. Didn't go all that well, but playing it more like Moskva and kind of just staying on the move most of the time and keeping your bow toward the enemy and being ready to dodge, like you're seeing in this gameplay here, and using my torpedoes when I can. Ship's pretty good in my opinion. So that's my second impressions video on this ship. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the Bagration. You're planning on getting it, you're planning on passing on it, let me know. Also, if you did like the video, make sure to subscribe. We just passed 11,000 subscribers. We're on our way to 15,000 subscribers. Oh, and I did get in contact, for those of you that did not see the community post, I did get in contact with our winner of the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Half and Half 11 chose to get the Alaska, the Tier 9 Premium American Cruiser. And that's an excellent choice, one that I certainly would have chosen if I had won a contest like this. So thank you guys for that, all of you that entered. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. I'm planning to do another one of those giveaways once we get to 15,000, and well, when we get there, we'll have another contest and see how that goes. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Hope you're... Tuesday. It's coming out on Tuesday. I forgot what day of the week it was. Anyway, guys, hope you're having a great time and staying safe and healthy during these times. And I hope to catch you guys in the next one.